The bustling city of Los Angeles was left in disbelief when news of Nipsey Hussle's murder spread like wildfire. The town that once thrived on his music was now united in grief, each passing day bringing new waves of sorrow and longing. Who could have been motivated to silence a man dedicated to bringing hope and change to his community? Was this a targeted attack or a random act of violence? Let's peel back the layers of this complex mystery and see what lies beneath. Amiris Joseph Asghedom, born August 15, 1985, grew up in the vibrant Crenshaw district of South Central Los Angeles. He was raised by his mother Angelique Smith and his father DeWitt Asghedom, an Eritrean War refugee who fled his home country during the Eritrean War of Independence. Nipsey, along with his brother Samuel, also known as Black Sam, and sister Samantha, attended Alexander Hamilton High School in Castle Heights, but left school before completing their studies. Nipsey became a member of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, a subdivision of the Crips gang that operated in his local area. By the time he was 17, he'd become a part of the Butter Vision creative multimedia digital guerrilla movement, led by Dexter Brownie. There, he recorded his debut mixtape, Slauson Boy Volume 1. It was given the nickname Nipsey Hussle by a childhood friend who respected his work ethic. In 2004, Ermias traveled to Eritrea with his father and brother for a 3-month trip, which he credited with inspiring him to become a community activist with an entrepreneurial spirit. Nipsey first gained attention in the mid-2000s as an up-and-coming artist in the West Coast hip-hop scene. He self-released his debut mixtape, Slauson Boy Volume 1, which garnered modest local success and eventually led to him being signed by Cinematic Music Group and Epic Records. Nipsey began dating actress Lauren London in 2013, and the couple had a son together in 2016. London had a child from a previous relationship with rapper Lil Wayne, while Nipsey had a daughter from an early relationship. Despite his success, Nipsey remained deeply rooted in South Los Angeles, regularly involving himself in charitable activities and the homes of families and friends. The locations for magazine shoots were often held in his neighborhood. Nipsey gained a reputation for his abundant mixtape releases during his career, such as the Bullets Ain't Got No Name collection, The Marathon Continues, and Crenshaw. His entrepreneurial spirit was evident when he famously sold physical copies of his Crenshaw mixtape for $100 each, with Jay-Z himself buying 100 copies. In 2018, Nipsey finally released his highly anticipated debut studio album, The Victory Lap, which received widespread critical acclaim and commercial success. The album was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 61st Annual Grammy Awards in 2019. Nipsey's mission was to provide solutions and inspiration to young black men like himself, denouncing gun violence through his music and community work. Despite his affiliation with the Rolling 60s, he often worked with rival blood-affiliated rappers to set an example. Nipsey dedicated himself to enhancing local schools and engaging with students, sharing insights on gang life and the community's culture. His initiatives included the establishment of Vector 90, a collaborative hub offering STEM courses, and his support for the Destination Crenshaw Project, which celebrates the heritage of black residents in the area. In March of 2019, Nipsey reached out to the LAPD authorities to schedule a meeting with himself and Roc Nation, aiming to explore strategies to curb gang violence in South Los Angeles. However, he was tragically murdered on March 31st before the meeting could take place. On March 31st, 2019, Nipsey, a well-known rapper, was shot in the parking lot of his store, Marathon Clothing, in South Central Los Angeles. The incident left Nipsey with 10 gunshot wounds, resulting in his death shortly after arriving at the hospital. The attack also injured 2 other individuals, and the Los Angeles Police Department started an investigation to identify and apprehend the perpetrator. The suspect in Nipsey's murder was identified as Eric Ronald Holder Jr., a 29-year-old who was believed to have known the rapper personally. After evading authorities for several days, Holder was apprehended and accused of murder, attempted murder, firearm assault, and illegal firearm possession. During the trial, Holder's defense argued that the shooting was not premeditated, and that he had acted impulsively in the heat of the moment. However, the evidence presented by the prosecutor suggested that Holder had thought about the shooting before committing the act, and that the motive was related to a personal matter. Witnesses testified that Nipsey and Holder had argued over a rumor that Holder had cooperated with law enforcement in an unrelated matter leading to the shooting. On July 6, 2022, Holder was convicted of first-degree murder and 2 charges of attempted voluntary manslaughter in connection with the injuries sustained by bystanders. On February 22, 2023, Holder was sentenced to 60 years in prison by Superior Court Judge H. Clay Jack. The demise of Nipsey Hussle was a profound shock to his admirers and the music industry in general, as he was recognized for his steadfast commitment to his community and his endeavors to better the lives of those in his vicinity. Following his death, his brother Samuel Asghedom was appointed the permanent administrator of Nipsey's estate. After the news of Nipsey's death, several celebrities, including Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, offered their condolences on social media. The Staples Center in Los Angeles hosted a public memorial service on April 11 with free tickets offered to the general public. The late rapper's community work was acknowledged by former U.S. President Barack Obama, who wrote, "While most people see only gangs, bullets, and despair when they look at the Crenshaw neighborhood where he grew up, Nipsey saw potential." Former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad also paid tribute to Nipsey by tweeting a quote from his lyrics. Nipsey's influence extended beyond the United States, as demonstrated by the 25.5-mile funeral procession to Forest Lawn Memorial Park, which wound through the streets of South Central Los Angeles and Watts, where the rapper spent some of his formative years. The Nation of Islam provided security along the route, which was described as both respectful to the community and in a way that the community respects, by Melina Abdullah. Mourners gathered at the Watts Towers along the route, while the crowds lining the streets demonstrated Nipsey's impact on the community. The gang leaders recognized how Nipsey resonated with young gang members and took the opportunity to reduce violence within their ranks. At a memorial for the rapper, a cross-section of gangs marched together and held summits between LA and Compton, agreeing to stay away from each other's territory and cease shooting at people. This peacemaking effort involved hundreds of gangs and was similar to the truce of 1992, although at the time that truce did not last for long. The intersection of Slauson Avenue and Crenshaw Boulevard, where historic Marathon Clothing was located, has been renamed Armia's Nipsey Hussle Asghedom Square in his honor. A light rail station on the K line was also dedicated to him in the Crenshaw community. Artists paid tribute to Nipsey Hussle through murals throughout the city, with over 50 dedicated to him. He was also honored with a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, further solidifying his historical place. Nipsey Hussle's influence has also extended beyond music and art. The Marathon Book Club was formed by local chapters inspired by the books he often mentioned in interviews and messages. His clothing companies, the Marathon Clothing Collection and the AMB store, continue to operate and support the community. Puma released the Marathon Clothing Collection, with proceeds going to the Neighborhood Nip Foundation. His friends and collaborators also recognize the impact of Nipsey Hussle's life and work. YG dedicated his performance at the 2019 Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival to his memory. Several artists paid tribute to him at the 2020 Grammy Awards, including DJ Khaled, Kurt Franklin, John Legend, Meek Mill, Rodney Ricch, and YG. The CW series All-American also featured a tribute to Nipsey Hussle in its Season 2 premiere, showcasing a candlelight vigil at Hyde Park and a mural painted just for the episode. The murder of Nipsey Hussle was a tragic event that shook the music industry and his community. The loss of such a talented and generous artist was felt by many, and his death was a reminder of the ongoing problem of gun violence in America. A documentary on Nipsey Hussle is in development at Netflix, co-produced and directed by Ava DuVernay. His legacy lives on through tributes and remembrances from his community, friends, and collaborators. Thank you for watching True Crime Prime. Kindly subscribe to our channel and remember to like, share, and comment.